Welcome to The Good Pod, where today we're talking The Good Wife, Season 5, Episode 12, We, the Juries. I'm one of your hosts, Jason Reed. With me, as always, this podcast, she gets to sit in the folding chair, is Marissa Garza. Marissa, you good?
I'm good, Jason, as long as we alternate every podcast.
Boy,
we're just gonna alternate, and then we're gonna alternate rooms, and we could alternate sides.
Oh,
each time
that works. I'll tell you, the shipping of this folding chair every week is getting expensive. It's getting a little pricey.
Sure.
We might have to figure something out of like maybe we switch on a season by season basis instead of every week.
Yeah, that might be a consideration.
We have to figure it out because this is getting pretty expensive here. Welcome to The Good Pod. Here we are in midway through season 5. Listen, if you know, we are inching closer and closer to
the end of season 5.
Yes, and to
the end of season 5. That's all. That's all.
Exactly.
Yeah, that's it.
If you know, you know, and it's coming, y'all. So get ready. Okay. Yeah. So here we are. We want to remind you of some free and easy ways you can know this podcast. You can do that by reviewing, rating, subscribing, wherever it is you are watching and are listening. It helps us get into the eyes and ears of more people that would love this type of content, like you out there. One such example of a great review that was left to us recently was by someone this week. And like I did on the Elsbeth podcast, I don't have it up right now.
And just for everyone's transparency, we just recorded the Elsbeth podcast.
Just did it. Like
we do these things back to back. Yeah.
If you watch on YouTube, you're like, they're wearing the same clothes. Yeah, we are, because we don't have wardrobe around here. Okay, like we don't call that. Like, all right, let's get Jason Mercer in the wardrobe for the next podcast. Like we don't do that right here. Okay. Newest review. I read on the Elsbeth one. I want to read it here too, because it was such a great review and it mentions both sides of our podcast. So we want to make sure that the person that wrote this gets their props, gets their due.
Yeah.
The author, xdcrzy, xdcrzy, titled "This Pod is Muy Boy Boy."
Yeah.
Bring a boy back. Gotta bring boy back more often. It says, I can listen to Jason and Marissa, double S.
Thank you.
Put some respect on the double S. You got to. I could listen to Marissa and Jason read the phone book. Their voices are so soothing. I sleep with this pod on. I used to sleep with true crime and have nightmares, but now I just dream of Will Gardner. LOL. I love their Elsbeth take. I'm so glad they're covering it. Marissa dreams of Will Gardner all night, every night. I'm sure. I have one of those like Josh Charles like cardboard cutouts like in your room, right? I'd imagine. I have to think.
You'll never know.
I mean, it's like, so should I feel good about you falling asleep to our podcast? Like, I'm just going
to yeah.
And we're not boring.
I think it's quite an honor. I think I think people get paid a lot of money for those sleep casts, So
actually, you know what? xdcrzy, we're gonna give you like a little extra like boost here, okay?
What are we doing?
So, xdcrzy.
Oh, Jason has found his microphone, everyone.
You and Will Gardner are in a courtroom. It's just the two of you, right? It's just you and Will chilling, shooting the S. You know what I mean?
I don't know where this is going.
You are in the judge seat. Right, so you're the driver here, xdcrzy. I'm just Marissa. I'm just trying to get XD to sleep, to have some good dreams. Okay, you are the judge, XD. Yeah, perfect. You are the judge. You rule this courtroom. You get to tell Will Gardner what to do right now. You can control where this goes. So XD, first thing to say is, Will Gardner, I sentence you for the crime of being too damn sexy.
Too hot.
Too hot. You're too hot. You got to go to sex jail.
Okay.
I'm your warden.
Jason. Anyway, Jason is good, everyone. Jason is great.
Is the elevator.
Okay.
Report to the elevator immediately.
Jason, we have a long episode to talk about, but yes.
I'm sorry, XD. I was trying to send you off into dreamland in a great way, but Marissa doesn't want us to be great.
Oh no, that is not true. I wish you all of the Will Gardner elevator dreams you could possibly have. Maybe that'll be a spinoff podcast for.
Have we talked? So you can't dream, also, right, Marissa?
Oh no, I can dream.
Okay. Well, okay. Well, I don't know how that works with your.
Yeah, it's a different.
Whatever.
It's a different part of your brain.
Marissa, your contribution to this will be to send xdcrzy maybe your best Will Gardner dream and how that goes.
Okay.
I know you've had them. Okay. Anyway, so that was just one example of a great review that we've had.
And what we will do for you if you.
We are a full service podcast right here. So we'd love to hear from you what you think about the show, why you think the show is so great, struck our egos a little bit. You can also leave comments on Spotify. You can hit the thumbs up on YouTube. You can leave YouTube comments. All these things help us get into the eyes and ears of more people because the algorithm's like, hey, people like this thing. People like this podcast. They like it so much. Leaving comments or thumbs up, and let's give it to other people. Let's make other people watch it. So yeah, do that. If you want to just talk to us about any and everything, you can also do that at thegoodpodfeedback@gmail.com. You can also go to buymeacoffee.com/goodpod. If you want to donate any sums, small and or large, shout out to Jennifer O. I'm not sure which side of the podcast you listen to, maybe both, maybe one, I don't know. But Jennifer O was our most recent Buy Me a Coffee person to donate some money to us. Thank you so much, Jennifer O. I love it. I love that you love my curls. Give you a close up right there. You're welcome. Anyway,
it's never gonna stop now, John.
Never gonna stop.
That's
never
okay.
Stop,
all for you.
Stop.
All for you.
All for you. Listen, I do it for the listeners.
I know.
Okay?
I know.
All right, so let's get into this great episode. I mean, it was really good. Great might be a little overstated. Okay. It was really good.
I really was trying to think about this episode because there's a lot that's happening in here. It took me a long time to figure out how to explain this episode to all of you because there's just so much going on. And also, I think what the show is doing with the arc so far of the season is really interesting because we started with the great schism, right? We've got Alicia on one side and Will on the other, and every episode they've kind of been inching closer, but not in the way they used to be, you know?
Well, yeah, I think it's interesting because as we move along, it's like in the beginning of the season, Will could not be in the same room with Alicia and not want to either rip her clothes off,
neither of them,
or do some bad stuff to her. There would be scowls between each other. Now they're getting a little more used to being around each other and can at least tolerate and have civil conversation with each other.
But we'll have their moments.
They saw moments for sure.
I'll talk about it. Okay, so just to set this up, I wanted to kind of bring us out of the story for a minute to kind of set up what's going on because there's a lot of moving pieces. On the prosecution side for our case of the week, we've got our heavy hitters. We've got Matan, we've got Geneva. They are on the case. They are here arguing against a case against two people who were accused of smuggling drugs in from Rio de Janeiro. A man named Howard, a woman named Darla. Now, what makes this interesting, none other than the fact that we love to see Matan and Geneva teaming up.
That was crazy. I was like, oh my gosh, look at these two teaming up. Oh God, I love this.
It was so great. But Howard and Darla were LG clients together before the schism, before the split. And now Howard is being represented by Florrick Agos and Darla is being represented by LG.
I wonder how this came up. I'd love to know how this came to be. Was it just all right, we'll split this case, or is it was there this is where Howard's well, I like Alicia,
I don't know
I like Will. It's okay, well, we'll just split the baby.
Yeah, I don't know how that happened, but it makes for a very crowded courtroom already before the trial even starts. The defense bench has many people at it.
This is a heavy hitter case. You've got Matan and Geneva on one side, and you've got the heavy hitters from both sides of Florrick Agos and Lockhart Gardner. You got Diane and Will. You got Cary and Alicia. Wow.
Yeah.
This call for everybody.
And the issue before the court at this moment is, are Howard and Darla going to be tried together, or are they going to be tried separately? Matan is arguing they both did it, so why don't we just have one trial for both of them? Will and Alicia, because they are arguing for their client's best interests, are saying, why don't we have this as separate cases? And then we get the judge reveal for this episode, who comes in and says, hey, my problem with this is that it wasn't done in a timely fashion. This request was not done in a timely fashion. And I'm like, oh, time. timely fashion, like all of the times I've seen you on TV, Mr. Judge Man, Mr. You know, I know him, you know him. Jason, tell us who this judge is.
This is Victor Garber, y'all. Victor effing Garber, freaking Jack Bristow from
I put
Alias.
in my notes, Papa Alias / Titanic / Canadian.
Jack MF and Bristow, like one of the biggest, baddest daddies of them all of TV history. Like, I think if you did like a baddest TV daddy countdown, Jack Bristow's in there. Like, he's in like top 15. Gotta be. Like, he was the man in the day. Like, you remember when they revealed Damien and we were like, why are they making this big reveal for Damien? Like, this judge reveal where they like panned up and was like, y'all ain't gonna believe it.
It's so good. It's so good.
Y'all ain't gonna believe it. Y'all ain't gonna believe it. Oh, it's Victor Garber, y'all. It's like, I definitely was like, oh my God, it's Victor Garber. Victor Garber, yeah. Like, I think most people will know him from Alias.
Well, if not only from the Alias side of things, but he was in one of the most popular movies of the 1990s, The Titanic.
Tough admission alert.
You've never watched Titanic?
I've never watched Titanic.
Oh my God, we're adding that to the list. Good Will Hunting and Titanic. You have not watched?
Nope.
Oh boy,
I miss all the classics. All the classics. Was Victor Garber a big part of Titanic?
I'm just gonna let that sit with the people for a minute.
Okay. All right.
Yes, he was.
Okay.
He built the Titanic. He was the man who built the
he
ship.
Built it. Okay.
Yes.
That makes sense. I also know Victor Garber from like the comic book TV show world. He was a big part of the show Legends of Tomorrow.
Yes.
The DC property. So that's why I know him from. Also from The Slap. Remember The Slap, guys? Remember how crazy that was? Remember that show?
I did not watch The Slap.
The Slap was a show about... It was a takeoff of a British show from the BBC as well. Called
Makes sense.
Where there was this, like, the whole premise centers around there's this party, this neighborhood party, and at the party, one of the parents slaps another child. Like, a child's not their child, as like a form of discipline.
Oh boy.
Like, slaps the child. And that takes the whole thing. Like that's the whole premise of the show, is the aftermath of that.
It's like Slapgiving, but not.
Power slap. You ever seen that? You see that now? Like, this is where the people just like, it's like a power competition. Like, how hard can you slap another person? And can the other person survive your slap? Oh boy. Not surprising. I think the guy that does UFC, Dana White, is head of that.
Oh,
so
of
that
course.
shouldn't
Of
surprise
course.
you.
Yeah.
But apparently he was part of that show too. But Victor Garber is the man for sure.
Yes. Yeah. And he's so funny in this episode because he's like, okay, you are entitled to your own individual, trials. So I'm going to abide by that. However, I believe in judicial efficiency. So what we're going to do is we're going to have different trials in the same courtroom. Okay. Sounds like a great idea. This is fantastic. Meanwhile, Howard and Darla are just like, oh, Shmoopy, I love you so much. Oh, Shmoopy, I love you so much. They're really really showing the entire court how much they love each other. So after this decision, Cary greets Alicia, because it was just Alicia in court. Cary greets Alicia back at Florrick Agos, and he's like, man, I just heard this is going to be tough. And she's like, what? The double jury or going up or being on the same team as Will, because we have seen Will and Alicia, like I said, oppose each other, but we have not had to see them be on the same team and also oppose each other.
It's just so funny how blatant this season is, where it's just like, I don't know, like every episode is just a different configuration of what could happen with Will and Alicia and Lockhart Gardner, Florrick Agos. We're shameless about it. We're just gonna show you different ways they could fight against each other, with each other, like in all the different permeations.
It's great. I love it. I love it so much.
Yeah. Cool.
Cary's
give us what we want.
Yeah. Cary's like, don't worry, I'm gonna first chair. And Alicia's like, I got this. Like, don't even. Why do you need to first chair? He's like, I'm not worried about you. I'm worried about Will. And Alicia's like, yeah, okay.
Good job, Cary. Good job, Cary.
Yeah.
Way to manage that. Cause it was like, Alicia, it's about Will. It's Alicia. You're good. Like, I know you good, Alicia. It's about this joker over here, Will. Like, I don't trust that guy. That guy's gonna get real emotional. It's not about you at all. Like, I love how he handled that. It's like, okay, good job, Cary.
Which even sets up the next scene even better, because now we are at jury selection. Again, we are looking at two juries.
Voir dire.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We're at that. And Diane walks in and Cary's like, first chair. She's like, yep.
Yeah, of
and
course.
So like if we go back to like the origins of this entire like foursome, right? Like Cary and Diane, Cary are the team, and then Will and Alicia are kind of the team. And so you kind of just shows how similar they still are. Because Diane, I'm sure a similar conversation went on over there of like, I'll first chair, and Will be like, I got it. Like, oh yeah, no, not for you, but for Alicia.
Cary's like, you had to put your baby in the corner? Yeah, I had to put my baby in the corner too. It's all good. I know what you're doing with, girl. I'm doing the same thing on my side.
So here we do see like a number of short scenes of the juries getting selected and questioned. The questions are like basically like, do you believe in an argument that a man should settle this? Or do you think that a woman should settle this? Like going back and forth, trying to position them to see who they would favor.
Well, and Cary has an interesting moment here. Cary ultra passionate in this moment. Cary goes, do you think a woman can use her looks to manipulate men? Like, for example, let's just say that there was this woman that you may or may not have been banging for a while, right? And you guys are like about to go to different companies, right? And she like, and this woman, because y'all were having fun, she decides to come ask you some stuff, right? And you think you could trust her, right? You think you could tell her some pertinent, some sensitive information, right?
Like, and do you think that women whose names start with K specifically could be doing this?
Now let's say this woman, random person, just also happens to always wear some cute little leather vests and some cute little leather skirts. Like, do you think that should be allowed to be manipulated against me? I mean, against men? Like, do you think that's fair? Like, it was so funny because it's like, I imagine that I would love if a director came out and was like, yeah, we took that take regular and then we used what we knew about the character to make it even better. And I said, hey, Matt Zuckery, for this take, be a little more passionate because you're Cary and you're thinking about Kalinda right now.
Yeah, exactly. And I think like it was fun to kind of see the questions go back and forth. We do get the delineation of the box jury and the folding chair jury. So that gets set up during the scene as well. We also get a very exasperated Geneva of like, oh my God, they can't do, like, I'm so over this. And then in the next scene, she's like, hey, Matan, look at them. They're fighting.
It's fun to watch that like progression because they're busy watching LGAF get tripped all over themselves, and at one point like they're over there fighting and Matan's trying to object and Gene's like no, sit down, stupid, like let them destroy themselves, like they're gonna take care of everything we need for themselves by the infighting. Like, I love that Geneva's the one to clock that, like, Matan, you idiot, like sit down.
At this point, well, they walk out of the Voir dire. And Will's like, hey, Kalinda, I need you to go find out stuff about Howard because I'm pretty sure they're going to come after us. And meanwhile, Robin goes up to both Cary and Alicia and is like, hey, I heard some news about the Paisley Group. We might be able to take them away from Lockhart Gardner, and because they're feeling ignored by them. And Alicia's like, okay, cool, great. And also go find out stuff about Darla because I'm pretty sure Kalinda is going to be on us about Howard. So both teams are like playing nice, but they're also really kind of setting up to go after each other. Mm-hmm. So as you had mentioned, Cary was using his real life experience in court to question jurors. And then outside of court, Kalinda catches up with him and is trying to apologize in this way. And Cary's pissed because, like you said, he was like really passionate about it. So it's all still very fresh in his mind. And Kalinda's like, I want to apologize. And he's like, as like, things ending poorly between us. It's like, okay, great, you apologize, forgiven, goodbye. And I love how at the end of this too, Kalinda's like, you're being a douche. Like, why are you being
like, bro, just get over it, man. Jesus. Like,
I don't know what to tell you, Kalinda. Things are busy. Like, I don't have time for this.
And so this is interesting in a number of ways, right? Because first of all, the timing is interesting because Will just told Kalinda, get dirt on the other side's person.
Yes. So she's like,
we have to question. Yeah, we have to question. Is this Kalinda being genuine, or is this Kalinda like trying to bait Cary back in to like get information about?
And I'm sure Cary's tracking that on his side
of course.
too. Yeah.
Also, you'll notice this happened as people were like leaving the courtroom. Like, you know who else is in that courtroom with Cary? Alicia. You know who wasn't in that scene? Alicia, because Alicia and Kalinda are not allowed to be within 15 feet of each other.
I do have to say, like, when the scene happened, I did notice that. And I did say to myself, oh my God, it's just so nice to see Kalinda and Cary back together. Like, at least we're not like they're not back together, but like, at least they're not.
At least Cary's
like, not away from each other as much.
At least Cary is not forbidden from seeing Kalinda, right? Like, at least it's not like a terrible custody situation where, like, Kalinda cannot see Cary because Cary is connected to Alicia.
Yeah. So Papa Alias, the judge, goes and tells the juries, okay, here's the deal. We got the juries. You're not supposed to talk to each other. You're focused on your own cases. We're doing this, expeditiously. We're going to have cramped quarters. And if you need anything, just raise your hand. And so, of course, one side is like, why do we have to sit in the folding chairs and they're in the box? And so this is adding like just another element to this trial that is going to have to be managed by the judge, because like, okay, well, I guess we could alternate between different seating between the chairs and the box and the folding chairs.
I really like that Jack Bristow, who they gave us the name of the judge, but I don't care. I'm gonna call him Jack. I love that Jack Bristow was like thinking he was doing something by being like, I want to make y'all do 2 juries at the same time. How about that? But it really kind of backfires on him, because by the end of this, he's just like so exasperated. He's just like, why did I ever do this? Why did I do this?
The first person on the stand is Officer Sorrento, and he's being questioned by the prosecution, and he says, we started profiling them because they didn't look like an organic couple coming off the train. And so like in my brain, I'm like, organic how? Like, you expected them to look Brazilian? Like, is this racial profiling? What's going on? But no, they were talking about like an organic in love couple. They just didn't seem, because he's a professor. He's like the nerdy professor, and she's like this bombshell of a woman. And so she's like, how could these 2 people ever fall in love? Oh my gosh. Also, Howard was profusely sweating, and Darla kept looking down at her feet. So this is what gives the police enough to go and search the luggage. They find 2 pounds of cocaine on Howard. And Diane's like, yeah, okay. They were sweating and looking down at their feet. Like, this could have just been new love nerves, like this didn't have to be anything big. And just because the drugs were in Howard's carry-on, why did you arrest Darla? But officers like, because Darla had $30,000 worth of cash on her. So we've got a lot of
lots going on.
Lots happening.
And like, we find out like this is not a couple that's been together for a while. This is a couple that met that week on vacation, and like he decided to invite her back to his house, like in America. So he's like, hey, why don't you just hop on a plane and come back to my house with me to America? It's like, okay. And yeah, like, come to find out, like, they were sweating and all that because they had coke and $30,000 on them. What the hell were all about to be doing? What was that? What was going on?
What is, like, we never really find out. Like,
no,
we have no clue. So those details aren't really going to matter. What's going to matter is the back and forth between the different firms, because
it turns into, because we're all supposed to be on the same side, guys. But of course, it turns into infighting, where it turns into, they're trying to get their jury onto their side. So they're trying to throw the other person under the bus.
Yes, exactly. So Diane takes the first shot, right? Like, she's like, if couldn't it be seen that Darla just worked Howard's scheme? Like, she uses the word scheme. Cary's like, objection. And Diane's like, okay, yeah, I'll rephrase, and says something completely different. Okay, why? So basically, you're saying that you don't have any evidence that Darla, my client, had any access to Howard, their client's bag. And the officer's like, yeah, that is what I'm saying. And Cary's like, okay, Alicia, they're coming after us. Let's go.
Diane's like, jury, if it was not her bag, she must not have been bad. Hey. Oh, Johnny Cochran is that motherfucker.
Yeah, I got it. I got it.
I'm glad you got it. Yeah.
I got it. So it's Alicia's turn to question the officer, and she starts off by saying, you said it was the bag. right? Yes. This bag was in possession of Howard the entire time. So he's like, yeah, it was the bag. And Alicia's like, well, they just fell in love. Why don't you think that he was carrying her bag? And the bag had no tag on it. So what's going on with the bag? And then Alicia says, oh, hey, Diane, did you say scheme? Well, Howard just could have been Darla's mark. And so then Diane objects, and Cary's like, you can't object. We're on the same team. And Diane's like, you just objected. And he's like, yeah, that was a mistake. Like, that was dumb.
Like, well, it's not my fault the judge is dumb. And it's a stage you're objecting when you shouldn't have been objecting. What? Or I should have been objecting. Like, not my fault.
And this like dissolves into arguing. Robin goes to question the flight attendant from the flight at her house. And she's like going through all of her stuff. And the flight attendant is saying, you know, I already told the prosecution everything. Like, don't they share information with you? Did you recognize? I did not recognize the flight attendant. Jason, did you recognize her?
I recognize the flight attendant. And for those of you out there that watch Hallmark movies, you definitely recognize this woman. This woman is in like 50 bajillion 11,000 Hallmark movies. She is like one of the Hallmark it girls. It's Ashley Williams. I recognize Ashley Williams from like being just in sitcom area. She was on the Jim Gaffigan show. I didn't really watch that show a lot, but she was like if the one of the stars of this sitcom needed a date for an episode, it was Ashley Williams. Like that's who kind of Ashley Williams was in the sitcom world. So she's here. And so if you're a Hallmark movie fan, you were geeking out as much as I was geeking out about Jack Bristow. You're like, oh my God, it's Ashley Williams, it's Hallmark girl. So
heavy hitters from different realms.
Yeah, for sure. We're all getting our stars here from our different areas.
So Robin is questioning her and saying, like, yeah, I know you talked to the prosecution, but I'm just like digging a little bit further. Did Darla drink too much? Like, just goes right into it. It's like, no, nothing was really weird except for that bathroom thing. And Robin's like, yeah, bathroom thing. What bathroom thing? And the flight attendant says, well, you know, like the Mile High Club thing. Like, that's what happens in bathrooms, you know. And then you hear knock, 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 and it's Kalinda on the other side of the door. So she's following up just right after Robin. In court, the juries are like now arguing about the size of their jury rooms. And so Jack Bristow is like, okay, fine. We will alternate those two. We put the flight attendant on the stand. Matan is the first to question her. And we find out it was a full flight. There wasn't enough carry-on space. And she told Howard that he's going to have to stow his bag a few rows away from him. And Howard was not happy. I got to say, I don't blame Howard. I hate this. I hate this whole thing. I hate the whole carry-on cover thing. I hate the bag. Like, if a bag cannot be by me, this is why I miss the days of just checking luggage without having to pay $80 gazillion. I'm on Team Howard at this point because, yeah, don't move my bag.
Bro, I'm hella paranoid when I go travel. Like, I think everybody's a criminal. Like, I don't racially or culturally profile. I think everybody's a criminal. Like, I think if my bag is out of my sight, someone's gonna go through my bag and take my stuff. I don't care who you are. I don't care what you look like. I don't care if you're a man, a woman, black or white, whatever. You're a thief. Everyone's a thief. I cannot leave my bag out of my sight. It's not happening. So yeah, I'd be freaking out too if I was Howard. Not only because I have like, you know, $300,000 or $100,000 worth of drugs in my bag. Just I don't want my stuff taken.
Yeah, exactly. And then it's also a matter of like, am I gonna forget where it is? And also, are people gonna let me, like, especially if it's stored behind me? How am I gonna get my bag behind me when people are getting off the plane? Like, I don't want to deal with that. Anywho, 26B tried to move Howard's bag, and Howard shouted something out. Matan is asking, what exactly did he shout? Alicia objects. Hearsay. Will objects. Will objects to Alicia's objection, saying that the Darla jury, like, shouldn't hear this testimony.
Well, Alicia says the Darla jury should not hear this.
Yes, that's right. Yes.
And Will's like, no, the Darla jury needs to hear this. So we cannot be like excusing the Darla jury.
So they excuse Howard's jury from the room. Because Alicia said that Howard's jury shouldn't hear this, and Will is saying that Darla, like, some of this is going to get a little lost in the weeds because there was a lot.
Darla's jury can hear it, but
Howard's jury
cannot hear it. Yeah.
So the judge removes Howard's jury, And we learn he said, "Let go of my bag." And then Matan says, "Did Miss Riggs intervene?" To which Alicia objects, "Well, Howard's jury should definitely be able to hear this." And Diane said, "You just said that was hearsay." And Cary said, "Well, what was said was hearsay, but not the instance in which the things were said." And so then Alicia looks at Will and says, "What's the matter with you?"
Oh my gosh.
What's going on? And Harris, the the bailiff, lets the other jury in at this point.
Oh man, so good.
It is now Cary's turn to question the flight attendant, and he says, did you see Darla in the vicinity of the business lavatories?" Lavatories is the only time I hear the word lavatory is on a plane. I never hear it here. I don't know if it's specifically because it's on a plane, but I never hear like, "I'm going to go to the lavatory" in my own on the ground world.
For the longest, I thought people think laboratory, and I was like, that's an interesting way to talk about the bathroom. Just mixing up some shit in there.
So obviously Cary's setting up this whole Mile High Club thing. And what was surprising was the fact that Cary said, "Okay, so did you see Darla go into the lavatory with this woman?" I was not expecting this. I thought it was her. I thought it was Darla and Howard in the Mile High Club. Too. I had no idea what was going on here. Geneva objects here for relevance. Cary saying that Darla is faking her love, for Howard based on this encounter. So Jack Bristow allows for it. And they're like, "How long was it in there?" "For 15 minutes. And when she came out, she was adjusting her skirt." Matan decides, okay, we got to approach the bench here because we want Darla's jury out of the room at this point. And so they take Darla's jury out of the room. Questioning continues. Why do two people go into a lavatory on a plane? Diane then tries to build the case that the flight attendant was jealous of Darla's life, which came out of nowhere.
Yeah, and then they present this as, "Oh, that Darla had lost a button or something, and she was asking this other woman for a clip to help, fasten her skirt." That's what they were doing in the bathroom, not having a little fun. They were adjusting clothing. I was like, okay, cool.
And this is where Matan objects, and then Geneva holds him back, and then they want both juries in. And Harris, the bailiff, is like, "I am so over this." And then Matan objects again, and he's like, "Okay, for what?" And Matan's like, I don't know.
I don't even know anymore, man. Like, I'm so lost. Like, well, because he's trying to do too much, and she was like, "Yo, chill, relax, bro."
It's so funny. So they take a little break, and we find out that there is an offer from the prosecution for 6 years each for each person, for Darla and for Howard. And there's a conversation about, okay, but we're in this together. What are our chances of beating this? And both lawyers agree, or both sides agree, that the best shot is if Howard's jury thinks that he's sympathetic because he's a nerd and he could have been like taken by Darla, and then Darla's jury thinks that she's Howard's pawn. So basically we have to show that you two don't love each other.
Yeah, we're going for the sympathy vote for both of y'all.
Yeah. And while this is happening, Will and Alicia both see two jurors from opposite juries talking to each other in the corner. And Will walks away from what I could see, towards the jurors. That's what I thought was happening.
Yeah.
But so they both see it. Later that night, Cary meets up with Kalinda at a bar. Kalinda offers to buy a drink, and Cary's like, "I already have a drink." She's like, "I gave you 5 minutes. Don't waste them." And Kalinda's like, "I miss you." He's like, "Oh, you miss me so much? What did you do to me? I thought you were my friend." She's like, "I kept your secret. That's why you're my friend. I can't."
Cary goes, "What secret?" Like, hello. I kept the secret that you were leaving our law firm for like 3 months. Like, what do you mean, what secret? You forgot already, my guy?
And she does say, like, "I can't endanger my job for you, bro. Like, this is not what." And he's like, "Okay, fine. You said your piece. we could go. And the bartender at this point spills a drink on Cary.
Marissa, I'm gonna raise my hand. Like,
is this? Yes. Would you? Yes. Folding chair jury. How can I help you?
I told Marissa before the episode, I said there's a super secret cameo that you probably didn't notice.
I did not notice. Who's the bartender?
I didn't notice either until I looked it up on IMDb, and the name caught my eye. I was like, whoa! I was like, wait a minute.
Who is it?
The bartender was Cara Patterson.
Okay, you're gonna have to help me.
AKA Kaya from Elsbeth.
No freaking way!
Yes.
Oh, that's amazing.
And so when I saw that when I was looking up the IMDb, I was like, wait a minute. So I had to go back to the scene. I was like, let me make sure that she wasn't like miscredited or something like that. And it's a very young Kaya. I was like, oh my gosh, that is Kaya.
We don't see her very much. She like literally like pushes the drink and then like cleans it up. Oh, that's so cool.
Had to like pause it and be like, is that Kaya? Oh my god, that is Kaya. Like that's so cool. Like, for those of you that are on the Elsbeth journey with us, that was quite a moment. Like, oh my god, like she was in this universe before she was in this universe. That's so cool.
That's awesome. Thank you. Before the pod, everyone, she's like, I have a super secret cameo for you. And I'm not gonna tell you. I'll tell you on the show. And I was like,
You think they were like, who can we get to be Kaya? Like this like ultra pivotal role in Elsbeth.
Again, why the show is about us.
Yeah, it's like, hey, you remember that bartender in season 5, episode 12? She was only in the scene for like 2 seconds, but boy, the way she spilled that drink was just genius. Let's get her to play Kaya.
It was. Like, it really did the job. Cary's like, don't worry, I got it. And he leaves, and I could not believe he left his phone behind. First of all, he's such a nerd with this background. I got like the biggest nerd being the logo for the law firm. So nerdy.
But it's always good to see the old school iPhone on this show. I was like, oh, you remember when?
Because I never had one, because I've always been a green bubble. Very
proud. Yeah, I forgot. You're a loser. I forgot about that.
No. I am evolved and in the future, as opposed to
sure.
I've been able to change my icons for over a decade. But anywho, he leaves his iPhone, and Kalinda. So she sees that a text message comes through. She sees that it's from Robin. She sees that it's about the Paisley Group, and she's like, okay.
But she's trying.
Let me turn it over. I'm going to turn it over.
I'm not going to do it. I'm not going to do that.
Not going to do it. And then she's like, but I'm Kalinda. So she turns it over.
Gotta do it.
And she reads, and the text message says, CEO James Paisley arrested for solicitation with H. Elliott. LG doesn't know. So Kalinda's like, okay, I have this information now. That's all we see at this point. Next day in court, we've got arguments about stinky Thai food being left in the jury room the night before. And the judge is like, anything else to address? Geneva says no. Will says no. Alicia hesitates but also says no.
Right, because they have not revealed that the jurors are talking to
chit chat.
I think Alicia's trying to take all right, what's Will gonna do?
She's trying to be on the same team even though she's not.
It's like, all right, I guess we keep it quiet.
Yes,
that's what we're doing. Yeah.
So we've got Abel, the doorman from the resort in Rio. I was like, oh my god, they flew this dude all the way here from Rio for this thing. That's amazing. He's showing some security footage, and it's Mr. Carzola meeting with the defendants in the lobby of the hotel. And Matan's like, and who is this guy? It's like, oh, he's a drug dealer. Everyone knows he's a drug dealer. And Cary's like, yeah, everyone knows he's a drug dealer, and also a scuba excursionist, and also all of the stuff. And he's like, and those are our front. I'm like, basically, this is the Lamont Bishop of.
That's exactly what I was about to say, Marissa. We're here with it. We're at a mind meld at this point.
And Cary's like, isn't it also true that Darla made a scuba appointment the day before, and only Darla went on that scuba excursion? And Will's like, sidebar. So they approach the bench, and Will says, I'm making a request for limiting instructions because the jury needs to know which jury needs to know what to pay attention to which. To which Jack Bristow is like, it is like herding cats.
He's sick of these people.
He pushes them away, and as they're leaving the bench, Diane says to Alicia, "It's better if we work together." And Alicia says, "Tell that to Will."
Ooh.
Like, oof.
Sassy.
At this point, Will gets a text from Kalinda about the Paisley Group, and so he's like, "I gotta go take care of this." Diane's like, "Go." And Jack Bristow instructs Darla's jury to disregard the entire setup that Cary just did about Darla being the scuba excursionist.
Like, so you want me to just literally forget the last 10 minutes of my life?
I never understand that. I mean, like, I guess you could probably prove in a, like, what's it called when they redo it?
A retrial?
Mm-mm.
A mistrial?
Appeal.
Jury?
If they appeal.
Yeah,
if they appeal.
We talk about a law show every week, guys. Didn't you know?
If they appeal, they could maybe prove that something was used in the decision, but like I never understand how someone's supposed to like forget. But
I'd be like, nope, I'm not. I remember it. It's in my memory. I'm not gonna be able to forget it. Like if someone's just like, if somebody showed me like some hard ass proof that someone did this and they were like, oh, you can't use that evidence, Your Honor, they'd be like, all right, well, y'all forget what you just saw. Like, no,
yeah,
my mind's made up now. Sorry.
Yeah. So Will does go meet with the CEO of the Paisley Group, who I screamed at my not screamed, but I was like, it's Tom Skerritt, because it's Tom Skerritt. Everyone, Tom Skerritt for me. Picket Fences for some reason was always on in my family's house, and then also Steel Magnolias, the father in Steel Magnolias, a titular film of my upbringing, which I'm sure Jason has also not seen.
No, I've not seen. Yeah. Tom Skerritt has totally like passed me by. I was like, who's this guy? I don't know.
He was also in Top Gun. But anyway, he is the CEO of the Paisley Group, and he's like, look, I'm happy. I'm happy. Did I tell you that I'm not happy? I'm happy. I'm so happy. I am happy.
Was he the guy that they called like when they were splitting up and he was like at a big bank of computer monitors because he was going to go with them, but then David Lee called him and told him not to? I don't remember. It was some older white guy, so it might be a different older white guy.
Maybe. But he's like, I'm so happy, to which should have been a sign to Will to shut up. But he did not. He's like, yeah, okay, well, here's the thing. We know about Haley Elliott and, you know, your relations with her. And he's like, oh, you mean the fact that I am related to her and she is my granddaughter and she's in a wheelchair with Hopkins? And Will's like, I think I was misinformed. He's like, yeah, you were. And
wouldn't you know, at that moment, Cary Agos and Ashton Kutcher come out from around the block and like, ha ha ha, you got punked.
But it was great because when Will asks Kalinda, like, what was that about? And Kalinda smirks, like, Cary. Like she knew that she got played and she missed that like back and forth that they would have between each other. Back in court, Cary's on the phone with the Paisley Group setting up a meeting, and Alicia's on the phone with Marilyn, which we will talk about in a bit. It is now time for Will to question Abel, the doorman of the resort, and he's establishing the fact that Carzola, the drug dealer, only speaks Portuguese, and only Howard, not Darla, speaks Portuguese. So Alicia calls for a sidebar, and she's like, hey, this is the same thing that Will wanted limiting instructions for before, so we now request limiting instructions for this. And Jack Bristow is like, I'm over it. I'm over this. I'm over it. I'm tired of these games. We're going to finish this trial, and if you want to appeal at the end of it, knock yourself out. Like, I'm just going to get through this, and then you can deal with it. And Alicia's like,
Alicia keeps pushing. She's like, Judge, I don't think that's really wise. He's like, girl, I just said.
Well, yes, exactly. And Cary's helping her out and saying, like, I think what Alicia wants is like an explanation about what's going on. And Alicia then requests time in chambers. And Jack Bristow's like, you're on thin ice. And she says, yeah, I know, but I've been holding something that I need to talk to you about.
Yeah, Alicia decides it's time to hit the nuclear button. It's time to hit the self-destruct. Boom, we're done. We're in a bad way. I need to blow this thing up.
So she goes into chambers. It's her and Will and Jack Bristow. And she says, we saw two jurors talking to each other. And he's like, what? Jack Bristow is like, why did you sit on this? And she's like, context. I needed to know like what was happening. And Jack Bristow was like, well, like, did you see this as well, Mr. Gardner?
Well, it's like, when do we get transported to France? Because you're talking about all this we stuff. I don't know what you're talking about, y'all. I don't know what we is.
I was like, oh my God. He said no, everyone. He said no. He no.
Straight up lied. He lied in a court of law, y'all.
Judge.
To Jack Dude, no one lies to Jack Bristow.
Do you understand? Do you understand the power that he has and the like random ancient codes he has access to? Like, do you even get it?
We have videotape evidence of what Jack Bristow does to people that lie to Jack Bristow. It's not good, y'all. It's not a good time. No. You don't want to F with Jack Bristow. You don't want to, number one, you don't want to F with Sydney Bristow. Because number two, that get you Jack Bristow. You don't want Jack Bristow. No. Okay. No. Do not lie to Jack Bristow, Will.
Also, though, like if we want to go on the Marissa's television crushes, Michael Vartan from that show.
Oh, yeah.
Also good, very good. Yeah. Anywho.
Where Michael Vartan? Where is Michael Vartan? Michael Vartan was like
he was everywhere. He was so good.
Like he was in
and he was in Never Been
Lopez.
Yeah.
He was in and then he's just like, where is Michael Vartan now? Tell you that was
anyway.
Bradley Cooper was the only person I was allowed to get famous from that show.
Yeah. But okay.
Anyway,
so,
Will straight up lies.
He straight up lies. Okay, he straight up lies. He says no. And then, Jason, he says, if Mrs. Florrick is accusing me of lying, I'm sure she can corroborate this.
Ooh.
To which Alicia's like, I can't. I must have been thinking about something else.
She's like, bet.
What the frick? I was so mad at Will. I was so mad at Will.
This is Will going off like the deep end. Like Will is just officially
he is like flipped. He has the heel has turned.
He's playing dirty now. It's just like I'm just about to straight up just F the oath of my job and just like
bad
I
news.
don't care.
Bad news.
I'm a lie.
As they say, it is no boy.
No boy. Surely no boy.
No boy. Kalinda stops by Cary's and she's like, hey, nice job there with the Paisley Group. And she's like, so we're even? It's like, yeah, I guess we're even. And Cary's like trying to close the door, like every 5 seconds, like trying to close the door in this conversation. And she's like, so let's go get a drink. It's like, we're not friends anymore. He's like, no, let's get a drink because I want a drink. And he's like, this is not a good idea, Kalinda. Not a good idea. He closes the door and then opens the door and walks out of it to go apparently have a drink with her. So who knows where that's gonna end back up, but I'll take it.
Yeah. I did like that they were able to both kind of laugh at it, be like, haha, gotcha. She's like, yeah, you did. You got me good. You got me good.
Yeah. So back in court, we have Belfair, Mr. Belfair, the head of security of the resort, on the stand, and he has brought footage of a hallway conversation that happened with Carzola at a door of one of their suites between Howard, Darla, and Carzola, and there's an exchange of an envelope. And Matana is establishing that Carzola wasn't staying at the hotel, so someone would have to have given him a key to use the elevator to get up to the floor. And also, he has no idea what is in the envelope, but he can make some assumptions. While this is going on, Robin is creepily staring in the back of the courtroom, watching the security footage, and she's like, I noticed something. Carzola's wearing a honey bar shirt, and the flight attendant had a honey bar hat on. So therefore, we could argue that they're connected in some way.
Boy, that's a huge stretch. Like, huge.
But like Alicia and Cary are like, yeah, that's so great. Also, it's so good. Should we tell them? Should we not tell them? What should we do with this information? So it's enough to get flight attendant lady back on the stand, and Will is establishing the fact that she has been in drug treatment for narcotics for like 4 months of her life, and she's also been cured, which we know happens with addiction. You just get cured of things. And she also was in a lot of credit card debt. Basically, he's establishing the fact that she was vulnerable and close to narcotics. And then Alicia establishes the fact that because she's a flight attendant, she has the ability to bypass security, specifically in the Rio airport. And at this point, the Judge Jack Bristow, instructs the jury to disregard Alicia's whole setup about the fact that basically the flight attendant planted the drugs because she has access to narcotics. She has a way to bypass security. And Alicia says this. She's like, so you planted it. And then she looks behind at Will and is like, yeah, I just did that.
They're like, oh baby, you get me hot, girl. You get me hot. You bring me back to the day. It's like an alley-oop. Like Will sets it up, Alicia dunks it home. It's like the judge is like, Miss Florrick, you're out of line. Alicia's like, no, you're out of line.
Yeah, it was very, much like that. But that look, like she looks like behind her shoulder, and he's like, I see you. I see you.
Respect game, baby. Game, respect game. So it must have been like a coordinated effort to be like, I'm gonna bring it up, and you gonna take it home, girl.
And they're like, they can work together. Like they just did it anyway.
All we had to do was frame this probably innocent flight attendant.
Probably. I'm gonna yada yada through the end of this entire.
It's worth a yada yada.
So they wait for the jury to come back. Darla's jury comes back first, finds her not guilty. Howard's jury is asking for more information. This kind of gets Howard into kind of a little bit of a frenzy. Like, what are we going to do with this? At the end of the day, Howard ends up taking a plea for 4 years with hope that he'll get out in 2. Darla says, hey, I'll wait for you. And we also do see that the 2 jurors that were talking end up walking out holding hands. So they were also in love in this situation.
They're not crooked. They're just gay. How about that?
Not great, Jason. Not great.
Why is it not great? It's great. They're gay.
It's great they're gay, but don't say, we don't want to equate.
They're just gay.
Yeah. Okay,
we thought they were crooked. We thought they were shenanigans. No, they were just gay. See? That's
true. That's true. That's not bad. All right. So that is the trial. Anything else from your side of things?
No. That was fun. I mean, it's another configuration of like how can we get Will and Alicia and Diane and Cary together, but this time they're not working against each other. This time they have to learn how to work with each other. Isn't that crazy, guys?
It's kind of like it's gonna sound bad, not bad, but it's like they've been inching closer and closer together. Like they're gonna be on top of each other at some point, sometime pretty soon.
Yeah.
But anyway, okay. Also during this episode, we had some movement in the Peter stole the election stuff. So we have Eli and Marilyn like having to tell Peter about this tape. We find out that Eli got a 2-week delay from it running in the press. They talk about the fact that it's Jim Moody on the tape. Marilyn is like, okay, that's it. Stop talking. I can't hear anymore because if I hear anymore, I'm going to have to testify about it. You're going to have to testify about it. We're going to have to talk to the feds. Stop talking. And Eli's like, what do we have to worry about? We had a lawyer argue in court that this box was stuffed with ballots for Christiva. And Marilyn's like, which lawyer was that? And he's like, Alicia.
Yeah, it was Alicia. Which is like, you probably shouldn't have had Alicia like argue
probably
for you
not.
in the first place.
Probably
like,
not.
You probably should have seen that coming anyway. But Marilyn's like, all right, like this is way too much. Everybody shut the hell up. Everybody disperse. And of course, as Peter and Eli do to Marilyn all the time, whenever Marilyn says, this is what we have to do, Peter especially is just like, no, we're not doing
exactly that. Yeah, which is why Marilyn's story is the story of all women when surrounded by powerful men. But anywho, also Eli says in this episode, and I think will continue to say for the rest of his life, that they won by 8 points. So what the heck does it matter about these 30,000 votes? But anywho, Peter and Eli want to talk without Marilyn. Marilyn's like, I don't think that's a good idea. I don't think that's a good idea. And Peter,
like, run on to the kitchen, Marilyn. Go ahead.
Well, and Peter pulls this like if I want to govern, I need to be able to talk to my chief of staff without you, blah, blah, blah.
It's like, okay, all right. Yeah, sure.
And so Peter and Eli are trying to figure out who leaked this. And he's like, was it Jim? And Eli says this, which he says again in this episode a couple of times. He says, no, he's a good soldier. He gets it. It wasn't Jim. And it's like, okay, well then was it Lockhart Gardner? Like, who knew about the tape? And it's like, well, Will did come to my suite on election night and tell me about this tape. But do we think it could be Diane because of the judgeship? And it's like, no, this doesn't sound like Diane. But Will could be out of his mind. Yes, Will could definitely be out of his mind.
And Will is definitely out his damn mind, as we have seen the past few episodes.
Yes. So Marilyn starts her investigation. She has to question Eli on the record. And so she's walking through like all of the procedural questions. Is this Jim Moody? Eli says, as far as I can tell, yeah, it looks like him. Did you order him to do this, or did you hint at him doing anything illegal? And Eli's like, oh, we're gonna have to stop that recording. We're gonna stop that real quick.
I'm just gonna hit pause on that. Not stop. We're not gonna hit stop. We're gonna pause. Because like, what do you mean? What like? Can we define the definition?
Can we define illegal?
Yeah. Like, what do you mean? Like, what language could I have used and not used that would not get me in trouble?
He's like, the question is too broad. I make so many decisions a day, even more in a campaign. What I like to do is like, I give direction, and people use their creativity in accomplishing that direction. And I'm like, oh my God, you're digging such a hole. You're digging such a hole here, Eli. And Marilyn's like, okay, what direction did you give him? He's like, you know, I said, we're down in the 12th precinct and we needed to get out the vote. And Marilyn's like, there's nothing wrong with saying you needed to get out the vote. And Eli says, well, there's a chance. There's a chance. I could have said we needed to do whatever we could. But that's just how I am. He says, he's in trouble when he says these ridiculous things. He says, I'm an absolutist when it comes to encouraging my underlings.
Oh boy.
I was like, what is
he's ready to be up on the stand. He's like, I need to get my trial words ready.
Yeah, it's so bad. And it's like, okay, will Jim back you up in any of this? And Eli's like, oh, I don't know. So we see the scene between Eli and Jim. They meet up at a diner. It's very hush hush, very like mobby.
Very deep throat, yeah.
Yeah. And Jim says, I heard you say we're taking the gloves off. That's what I heard you say. And Eli's like, okay, but I didn't know you were going to do this. Jim goes, I could write a book with the stuff you didn't know that I was going to do on this thing. And I was like, oh, I could write a book. Huh? Interesting. That usually happens after an election. Someone would write a book.
Sure.
And at the end of this, Eli's like, okay, so where are you taking this? And Jim's like, I'm taking this wherever you want me to take this. And Eli's like, that's a little convenient. Like, are you taping this? Like, what?
Surprising, like reach over, like rip his shirt apart, like, are you wearing a wire?
And Jim's like, I could get 3 years for election fraud. Why would I do that? And Eli says, because you are a good soldier. This is the line that gets so many people in trouble, I think, in actual court cases, because soldiers take orders. Mm-hmm. Good soldiers aren't making decisions. So like they are just following orders. So if you're the one giving the order, Eli, having a good soldier is not necessarily an argument you want to be making. But Jim's like, I could get 3 years or I could get less if I testify. And it's like, yeah, okay. But if you testify, you're going to have no friends. And right now you have friends. You're friends with the governor. And Jim's like, a lot of good that's given me right now. And Eli's like, okay, well, it stops here and I wasn't here, right? And Jim doesn't say anything and he gets up. What do you think here, Jason? Obviously something's a little fishy, but what is happening in your mind if you don't remember it? Because I don't remember it.
What do you mean? Is like
what is Jim's angle? Like, is he writing a book? Is he wearing a wire? Like
the vibe I get from Jim. The vibe I get from Jim is he's down to do a bid. If you need a bid done, Jim will do it. Jim will take that 3 years and he'll be like, I'll keep my mouth shut. I'm like you said, I'm a good soldier. I'm gonna keep my mouth shut. I'm gonna go down with the ship. Listen, Jim. This is your fault in the first place. Okay, because you should have checked video cameras. You should have got caught. This is your fault. You need to go down with the ship. So yeah, I think if Moody needs to do like some jail time, he's got to do some jail time. He seems like a tough guy. Seems like he's probably already been in jail. He was like, I was there. Wasn't that bad. I'll go back.
So we'll see what happens with that. I mean, I also think that Jim, if not promised a future, can leverage the situation.
Oh yeah, I mean, Jim's going to leverage this with Peter, or if Peter doesn't come through, he'll leverage it on the other side
against Peter. Yeah,
right. But I think what Moody wants to do is be with Peter and his side. Like, he is a good soldier, but we gotta have some good GI benefits. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah, it's got to be worth it.
Right.
Okay, now it is time for Alicia to be questioned by Marilyn, and I just want to set this in the context of when it came during the trial, because we've separated this out for discussion, but Alicia is being questioned by Marilyn right after Will lied to the judge about not seeing the jurors. So Alicia is asked, like, have you seen this video before? No, I haven't seen it. Do you know anything about it? No, I don't. And she's like, I want to remind you, Marilyn, I went to court to delegitimize these votes. So it doesn't really matter whose votes they were. I was making sure they did not get counted. And Marilyn keeps asking her questions, and Alicia is a little upset. She's like, I've answered everything I could. I'm in the middle of a trial. I'm going to go. She gets up. She walks out. She hesitates by the elevators, and we see her go into Peter's office, and includes Marilyn, very pregnant Marilyn, who is making her way down the hall, following Alicia into Peter's office. Alicia goes into Peter's office, says, can you leave the room, please? I need the room. Peter's like, oh.
Yeah, we're in trouble, guys. Everyone leave the room. I was surprised Peter was like, yep, we're all leaving the room, guys. And Alicia's like, no, not you. You stay.
Like, I'm here because Marilyn. He's like, I'm sorry about that. She goes, do you know anything? Did you know anything about the video? His response, I didn't know anything about the existence of the video until yesterday. Lie.
Peter,
lie.
that's a lie. That's a lie.
Liar, liar, pants on fire.
In Peter's defense.
No.
In Peter's defense, he didn't know what Will was going to show him. He didn't know if it was a video or a photo that Will was going to show him on that laptop. So, Your Honor, in a court of law, I think we're covered.
He did know it was something that had to do with the election.
But he did not know there was a video. Okay, he did not know it was a video.
Did he?
I don't think he did. Will's like, I got something here.
I don't know.
Something here. I got some bad news for you here. Do you want to see it or you don't want to see it? I mean, listen, if I had more time, I would have
rewatched it. Yeah, me too.
But I didn't do that. But I forgot what exactly Will said. We'll get into that like also down the line here. But I don't know if he was like, I got something bad up for you, my guy. Do you want to see it? You don't want to see it. I don't know if he said I got a video. I don't know if he mentioned the video. So I think if we got to check the tape. But Peter's like, I didn't know it was a video. Like, you didn't ask me if I knew anything existed.
I mean,
you asked me about a specific video.
Yeah.
I didn't know a specific video.
I think that this is the whole point, is how hard it is to remember something. But at the same time, not only did Alicia get lied to by Will, she got lied to by Peter in the same.
And also, if Peter wanted to be transparent, he would say to Alicia, like,
yes, yeah, but he did not.
This is probably what Will was going to try and give me, but I didn't take it. Like, he would say. And
also, he would have said that earlier. He would not have waited until now for it to happen.
Your little boyfriend, he tried to come in here, like, because you got to put that little dig in there too. Like, you remember your little boyfriend, Will?
Well, and he's like, I didn't ask, or I wouldn't have. If I knew about this, I wouldn't have asked you to delegitimize these votes. And Alicia's like, you didn't ask me. Eli asked me.
Ooh.
It wasn't you. And she's like, Zach, our son. Like, Like, do you remember
him?
him?
I thought you meant Zach Brown from
Zach
Brown.
Survivor.
Yeah.
Zach, our son, testified.
Glad you clarified. Our son. Thanks.
Testified in a court of law about this, and he's going to have to testify in front of the feds unless you fix this. Tell me you will fix it.
Fix it. Fix it.
And Peter's just kind of like, I'm going to fix it.
Yeah, I'm going to fix it. Don't give me the dust there. I'll fix it. I'll do it. I'll fix it.
So
I think if Peter wasn't already like under pressure to fix this, he's now going to go to the ends of the earth to fix this.
Oh, yeah. This is
because of Alicia. Alicia has put like 1,000 times more pressure on him because.
Well, yes. And her pressure comes from the fact, like, I really think it's interesting that she just in that moment she felt she didn't have a man she could count on because Will's already lied to her. So she's like, okay, Peter, you have to be the fixer. You have to be the person. I don't have Will anymore. It is completely clear to me that Will is willing to lie in court for himself and not help me, even though they ended up helping each other in the end. But he did that to me. The next thing you see her do is run to Peter and say, fix it. I just think that's a really interesting thing to track.
Yeah.
Okay. So we've got Alicia questioned. Now it is time to question Will. And Will is coming in. This is after, I think, after the lying as well, but also like towards the end of the trial. He comes in, he was asked, so you were Mr. Florrick's attorney? He was like, I was one of a number of attorneys assigned to Mr. Florrick. Okay, did you become aware of the video? And Will's like, Marilyn, what are you doing here? Like, this is not a grand jury trial. This is just an ethics investigation. And Marilyn's like, yeah. And Eli told me you would cooperate with me.
Is it clear why Marilyn knows that Will knows about the video?
No, I have no idea how he knows. Unless Peter said something.
Maybe. I feel like they would have left Marilyn out of the loop on that one. So I'm just like, I don't know how Marilyn figured that out. Figured out to ask Will.
Unless she was just going to any other lawyer that was attached
Diane
to this.
too.
Yeah. But
I don't know.
He's like, yes, I knew about it. Did you tell Peter? His answer is no. And she says, no, you didn't tell him? And he's like, no, I can't tell you because that was a privileged conversation. And at this point, Marilyn is like Jack Bristow in court. She is done. She is like, come with me, please.
Marilyn, who I try to remember. Yeah, they were. I mean, obviously, because Melissa George was on Alias.
Yeah.
Marilyn and Jack Bristow have crossed paths. They didn't cross paths on this show, but yeah.
And then we see like this walk. Okay, so she gets up, she storms out. Will stands up, adjusts his suit, gets himself ready, walks down, because this is the first time he's really seeing Peter after he confronted him about this video. This is like the next time he's seeing him. So they walk down. Marilyn's like, hey, hi boss, how's it going? I want you to waive your privilege so that I can get an answer from Will. And Peter's like, what is the scope of your request?
Well, and I love
Marilyn's like, anything. I need to know everything.
Any and every. Like, I love like the way they set this scene up with like Peter just chilling in his office, reading the newspaper. Marilyn comes in and he's like, hey Marilyn, what's up, girl? Like he looks up, sees what he's like, oh, this MFer. Like, what's he doing here? Like, what's this guy? What's this guy? What's this chump want? What's up, chump? Like, the look on his face as he realizes Will's in the room. He's like, oh, William, you're here.
Yeah. And he's like, okay. Like, let me talk to Will first before this. And again, Marilyn is like, again with this. This is not a good idea. Not a good idea at all. It's like, I want to talk to someone who is my lawyer. Do you get that?
Bruh.
She's like, yeah, got it. Loud and clear.
This is like a shady AF, bro. Shady AF. Yeah. Can't do this. Can't be doing this.
And so he asks, well, Peter, the honorable governor of the state of Illinois, says, if I were to waive my privilege, what would you say? And I would say, and Will says, I would say that there was a video that I wanted you to see. And Peter's like, that I refused to see. Like, yeah. And Will's like, and I would also say that I told you that those 30,000 votes were fraudulent. And Peter's like, what? You would say that? I don't remember you saying that. Did you say that?
I don't think you said that, my guy. I don't think you said that.
And Will's like, interesting. Like, I don't remember you saying like how you took back Diane's judgeship. And Peter's like, what now? What now?
Oh, okay. All right. Like, that's cool. Okay. That's how we're gonna do this. Okay. All right.
Well,
all right.
And Will's point is politicians conveniently forget things all the time. Woo. I can play that game too. Damn. Like and then he's like, and you would really do that? Like, what would you say to me? And he's like, what could I tell the most ethical administration of the state of Illinois? Whoa. And so, like, what do you want me to do? And Peter starts bringing in the personal here. He starts trying to do some stuff. And Will is just like, what do you want me to do? As your lawyer, what do you want me to do? And Peter does not answer him. He goes, pulls Marilyn back out from the hallway into the office and says, Marilyn, I am instructing Will to not waive my privilege. And Marilyn's like, are you sure that's a good idea? And he yells very declaratively, yes.
William Archibald Gardner has officially run out of F's to give. He don't give no more. Like, he is out of them.
I think the moment that happened was when he lied to the judge for I mean, it's been happening, but the fact
he's been running out of F's for a long time. Ever since he almost tipped that desk over when Howard and Alicia, the F's have been spilling out of his pockets. I mean, the fact that he's going over everyone's heads and hiring Damien, the fact that he's opening up offices, not like any real oversight. He is just like, you go through his pockets, he got no F's there. You go look at his glove compartment, no F's to be found there. Look at his trunk, no F's. There's no F's in this man's life at all. Like, he is done. He's at war with every and everything.
Yes.
And it's great to see. I love it. Like,
it's so fun, but also so bad.
So bad. So bad and so good though. And I don't think that a Will Peter scene has ever let us down. Like,
oh no. And the show does such a good job about keeping them apart for so long and then like really bringing us together. It's like that one time when they confronted each other on the steps of the courthouse when Alicia was with Will at that point, and like all of this stuff. It's always been so good. As much as I disdain Chris Noth, I do enjoy these scenes.
Yes.
Okay, last thing is Marilyn's report is inconclusive. At the end of the day, she writes this entire report. And again, just to remind myself and everyone, the entire point of having an ethics person on your team is to say, hey, I have someone looking at these things and they've written a report and they've looked at it. Like, I'm ahead of you, press. I'm ahead of you, lawyers. I'm ahead of you on all of this stuff because I have this person looking at all of this stuff. And this person for Peter has basically said, I can't tell who's right in this situation. And Eli is pissed. He's like, we made everyone available to you. And she's like, and they answered no questions, Eli. like they did not give me the information that I needed.
Specifically, Will Gardner.
Yes. Yeah. And he's like, she says, my report will be inconclusive until I have the governor's full and unconditional cooperation, which has been her request from the beginning. She's like, I'm not going to do this unless I have your full and unconditional cooperation. And Eli's like, but we won by 8 points. And Marilyn's like, none of that matters. Peter's in real trouble. And he's in trouble for one reason. And that reason is Will Gardner. And then Eli takes the report and throws it out the door after Marilyn walks out of it.
He yells, damn it.
Yes.
That line of like, Peter's in trouble for one reason, Will Gardner. It's just like, ooh, that like you just made Will like have a little bit of the goosebumps. Like, he's like, ooh, I like how that sounds. If Will Gardner ever heard that, like, ooh, I love that.
like a perfume commercial. From like One Reason by Will Gardner.
Yeah. I'm sure Will is at home, like just sitting back, drinking something, and be like,
I really just hope he's not with that lady friend.
we haven't seen her in a minute, so I don't know what's happening with that.
I'm okay with that.
You know,
I'm okay with
sure,
that, and I also was okay with no Damien this episode. All of those things, and
totally,
no kids.
Totally.
I would have.
Great.
Yeah,
it was great.
Yeah, it was so fun.
I was surprised if Will is defending this couple. Like, hey, so also by the way, like, you got any more of that stuff? Like, did you sell it all? Like, what did you do?
No, or like, I got a guy. Like, you need a guy?
Yeah,
I got a guy.
I be skiing a lot. I do some skiing. Like, so
I love skiing.
You need to connect.
In the ample hills of Illinois, the flattest land there ever was.
It's winter all year round around here, baby. You know what I'm saying? Like, we be snowing skiing all the time. It's snow everywhere. So if you need to connect in the States, you let me know. Yeah. Probably not as good as stuff from Rio, but we got good snow. Not Rio snow, but we got good snow.
It's actually snows here, so we know snow.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Anyway, so that was our episode. It was a complicated. It was very dense, but it was very fun. I just hope the next one is not more intricate than this one. Yeah, I hope the next one kind of blows some things up. Obviously, we've got an angry Alicia. We've got Cary and Kalinda being friendly with each other, so that'll be some fun stuff. And then we've also got whatever fallout's going to happen with, like, Alicia and Will are going to have a conversation at some point, a conversation and or confrontation and or elevator meeting in the future, because it is just building up to a point where it's going to have to give.
Yeah.
In one way or another.
Really, really vital, important things happening soon.
Did you watch Ahead?
I didn't watch Ahead.
Again.
I didn't watch Ahead, but
you can see behind your eyes and remember Ahead.
I can see into the future.
Oh boy.
If you know, you know.
Yeah.
It's guys, gird your loins.
It's getting good. It's getting good.
Get ready. So Marissa, yes, as you said, that's our episode. You want to tell the good folks where they can find you online, what you're talking about, what you're up to right now?
Yeah, everything's at itsme.marissag.com. We've got links to this show, links to Whirlwind Podcasts, where I'm talking about Pretty Little Liars, One Previously On at a Time. Links to the USS Sisterhood, where my sister and I are very slowly watching Star Trek The Next Generation for the very first time. Everything's over there. Jason, where can people find you outside of the courtroom?
You can get me talking about mess. As much as Will is out of F's, I am full of mess. Like messages come out of my ears, come out of my pockets, it's everywhere. So if you want to hear me talk about the show Married at First Sight, you can check that out on the Perfect Match podcast with me and Asia Welch. We are on Patreon right now, revisiting some older seasons. We are visiting season 12. We also have seasons 11, 10, and 1 in the vault for you. When you come over to Patreon, we got a whole slew of shows for you to check out. So check that out on Patreon, and also check me, Asia, and Kirsten McInnes out on the Rob Has a Podcast Network, talking about the show Perfect Match, not my podcast, A Perfect Match, but the TV show Perfect Match, when it's like a mess Olympics over there with several different people from several different shows coming on to suck face and see what kind of trouble they get into. That's it for me. That's it for Marissa G. And I'm going to actually continue the lyrics of Tricky Trick from last episode. Pick back up while no,
go for it. Go for it. Yeah, go for it.
No, you know what? I'll parse it out.
I'm just saying that I control when the podcast ends.
Okay.
You can do whatever.
I'll save it. I'll save it for this time. Maybe we'll get that as a reward for like 60 reviews. Then I'll finish Tricky Trick. How about that?
Oh, there you go. Yeah, that's good.
Yeah.
And if we get 60 reviews, I will make a separate video on YouTube of Jason singing Tricky Trick. Just FYI.
The promises of Marissa Garz do not reflect the promises of Jason Reed.
You could sing it on the episode and I'll just put it together.
Maybe. We'll see. But until next time, you guys, stay good.